Okay, guys, sorry about that. I was rambling along there. I didn't even know you guys were all on here yet. I was just talking to Gwen. Anyway, we're recording now. It is, what is it? May 3rd. Holy smokes! How did that happen? Anyway, we're moving right along. I was just telling Gwen about the how much I really like this new Cartra program. I wound up canceling both wistia and ClickFunnels yesterday, because the more I work with this Cartra, it's like, holy smokes, this thing is just awesome the way it wraps analytics and tagging into this. And it's basically, it's like Infusionsoft wants to be. The whole idea behind Infusionsoft is really, really incredible, but I don't know anybody that has been able to buy Infusionsoft, start it up, and just go ahead and create a successful campaign. And that's myself included. I had it for over a year and I never could get it to work. And it's about $400 a month, and you got a couple $1,000s up front to get started with it. So, with Cartra, it's $1 for the first 14 days, and then you can get started with it for as low as $89 a month, and it's full functionality. Whether you get the 89 or one of the higher levels, it has everything in it. It's just limited amounts. Like if you're going to run a small operation, just get started, you may only need the $89 one. Now, as an affiliate, I have an affiliate relationship with µThe, who that's his product. He's the one that came out with Cartra. Him and Andy Jenkins, and they've got Frank Kern on board as well, and they're using a lot of Frank Kern's really, really successful marketing campaigns, which is really cool. Like they have the 4-day cash machine that's a pre-configured template that you can literally just import into your account, and you can run a 4-day cash machine sale. Now, that sounds really cool, but it gets even better. All the emails are included. It imports an entire campaign. Literally, all you have to do is just go in and just tweak the copy to match whatever your offer is. So, it's really a phenomenal marketing system. I can't say that about anything else out there. They're all seem like you've got to have a bunch of different stuff to make them work. This thing connects with anything you want. I connected it to my EverWebinar system, and it just seamlessly connected, no problem. So it was really cool the way it all worked and the functionality. And for any of you guys that want to check it out, I'm going to paste this is my affiliate link to it in the chat box there. If any of you guys are interested in looking at it, when you go through that link, it automatically puts a 25% discount on any of the higher level services. It doesn't do it on the beginning one. It doesn't do it. You don't get any discount on the base level, the $89 one. But the whole reason I went for the 149 one, the silver, I think they call it a silver package, was I didn't want to have to pay the extra $50 a month. I wanted to lock the discount in, and I knew within a month or two I'd be up and running. But I got to tell you, every time I've been playing with it every day for the last week. And like I said, yesterday I canceled ClickFunnels, and I canceled my Wistia account as well, because the video hosting is absolutely phenomenal. The idea that you can track whether somebody actually watched a video, and not only whether they watched it, but how much of it they watched. And based on that, you can tag them for a follow-up sequence. Like if they only watched half the video, you can send them an email with a link to pick up the video right where they left off. I mean, that in itself is just phenomenal. If you guys are running membership software and you've got members in there, the idea that you could know how much of your course they'd consumed, that would be an incredible value. Like to me, to know how many videos people have watched and if they watched them all the way through, so I could absolutely know where people are getting stuck and hung up. you know, if they're not advancing on yet they've watched the videos, I can reach out to them, and I can do this all automated because you can tag everything right inside it. While you're setting the campaign up, there's a button right there, add a tag. So like if you're sending an email, you can add a tag based on whether they open the email. You can add a tag based on whether they click the link. And like I said, this is what Infusionsoft wanted to be. It's just too complicated to figure it all out, where this is literally drag and drop, point and click. Now, the only thing that has been a little bit not so intuitive, but that's probably just me because I'm so used to doing things other ways when I do web development. But their page builder, you can actually create an entire website building, you know, and completely responsive, building it with the Cartra pages function. The only thing about that I've found a little bit slow for me to get started is the fact that you've got a layer, you've got a background layer, and then you've got components you lay on top. And it took me a little while to figure that out. It's not a big deal once you know how to do it, but for me, it just wasn't quite as intuitive as I would have liked, but I got past it very quickly, so not a big deal. And that really, you know, from my experience so far, working with it for about a week, I've got a help desk set up, I've got a membership site set up, I've got the entire marketing campaign. I'm just tweaking the emails right now. This I found was really cool. I was able to connect it to my Twilio account, and now I can put on my opt-in forms, would you like an SMS text message, like a reminder for a webinar? And I tested it, it worked perfectly. It was like seriously point and click setting it up. It was really awesome. And I don't really get this excited about most programs. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff come down the pipe, and most of it has a lot of bugs and a lot of holes. And so far, I haven't found any bugs, and I haven't found any holes in this, other than, you know, my own ability to follow instructions a little bit with the page builder. And I think that really was me. That was not the program. Let's see here. That's interesting. I think I have to. Not sure what's up with my video mode there, but anyway, I'll get that one figured out for the next call. Anyway, if you guys have questions, go ahead and unmute and come on out. Love to know where you're at, what you're having trouble with, or if you've had any successes. Let's hear about those as well.
Hello, John. Gregory.
Hey, Gregory, go ahead.
Okay. Well, my options turbo group is still together. We had our 8th session last Sunday.
Awesome.
And Courtney Smith, my headmaster, granted 2 basic tickets for them to 2 out of the 6 to come up to Vegas, which we're doing this weekend. And then next weekend, 2 others are going to go for the options class. And that's the progress report. I'm happy with it. I'm getting a few more members of City Club Los Angeles who are thinking about just forming a little bit of a trade discussion group, which of course then I will be there. So that's the progress report there, and I thank you very much for your guidance on that. An update and conclusion on the Paul Fink matter. They did return the check. I got it in the mail yesterday.
All right, so you got your refund, huh?
Yep. They got the refund of the double charge, and so I was quite delighted to get out of that.
Oh, well, cool. Yeah, good job for following up on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, and that's the end of my report for this week, and I might have to leave a little early because I have an event at City Club at 1 o'clock. So,
okay.
But thank you for listening, and thank you for being there for us.
Great to have you on. All right, who's up next? Anybody got any progress? Any other progress reports or things you're running into? Hasn't been a lot. Hasn't been really a lot of big changes on the SEO front, other than I believe that Rankbrain has now really started to focus on keywords, keyword searches. And one of the things that kind of makes me think that is the sites that are coming up now for questions and things. And the conversion, the people that are focused on conversion and focused on answering questions, that might be a recommendation for those of you that are doing SEO, kind of switching gears on your strategy to focus more on keywords that are question based, that answer the questions of your market. So there's there's some tools and stuff out there. You can kind of do some Google searches and see what sites are answering questions in particular industries and things like that, and just do a little research and see what's out there. Another really cool thing is to go to review sites and look at the language of the reviews, and you can kind of pick up keywords and slang in there that other marketers are probably not optimizing for. And if they're saying that in their everyday messaging, they're probably searching that way as well. So what you might want to do is look at the reviews and split them down the middle. Take the good ones and the bad ones. And on the good ones, do your analysis on the good ones separate from the bad ones, because you don't really want to optimize for the bad reviews. You want to optimize for what's being said in the good reviews. That's what's important to them. Look at what's in the bad reviews as a conversion point. Look at those as far as you can see what's bothering these people, what they don't like, and then you can adjust your marketing campaign to that. Because if you know what they don't want, you can actually play to that in your marketing. You can say, if you guys want this, and list all the stuff they hate, say this program's not for you. So that's a pretty cool way to do that. But that's what you'll get out of the negative reviews. Look at the negative reviews and the positive reviews totally differently. In the positive reviews, that's the languaging that you want to use in your headlines, because that's the stuff that's going to grab them. That's the stuff that's going to keep them reading, keep them interested. It's like that whole analysis piece. Understanding what's important to them is really the key to conversion. It's the key to making sales.
Hey, John.
Hey, Louis, go ahead.
I'd like to share with you something related with what you have said, because this week a client of mine, he was tracking on its own a keyword, and he presented to me the landing page. It was maybe a landing page with 1 or 2 weeks running.
Okay.
And the keywords was in the title, in the meta description, in several sections, but the snippet of the results that Google show on the SERPs were the first questions in the frequently asked questions section, and the meta description was the answer to that question. So basically, for a keyword, Google rewrite the keyword in the title and the meta description and present a different data.
Wow, that's really cool.
So the client asked me, why is that? I put the keyword in the title and I spent some time thinking about the meta description, and Google is presenting a different title and a different meta description, which is the same that rewriting the first question in the frequently asked questions, and the meta description is the answer of the first questions.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Google, this whole Rankbrain thing, this artificial intelligence, it's getting very, very smart. It's really good. I don't know who the programmers are behind it, but it's absolutely phenomenal what it's doing. It's really deciphering what all the content on the internet is about, and it's going to make it really, really difficult for the old school SEO guys. Unless you become an actual marketer, you're going to have a hard time with SEO, because it's about conversion. It's about figuring out, what the customers want. And that's really Google's goal, is to deliver a good user experience. So if you guys want to win at SEO and you want to get the benefit of organic search traffic, you really need to get in alignment with them. The whole thing of standing in front of the dragon and throwing rocks at him and thinking you're superior, those days are over. They have really stuck a fork in all that old stuff. Now, that said, link building is still important. Link building will get you the attention to get them to notice you. But I guarantee you, you're not going to last long. If they notice you and they put you up, it's only a test. It's only temporary. It's when you prove that you deserve to be there that you're going to stick and stay. And if you're going to rise, then on the way, they're going to keep testing you against the sites that are ahead of you. And, as long as you keep winning, that game, you'll continue to rise in the SERPs. So really, really important that you get on board with that and get in alignment with what Google wants, which is a good user experience. The only way to do that is to understand your market, understand their needs, understand their wants, and deliver that in your web pages. So Ted, yeah, go ahead.
So John?
Yeah.
I've been finding that a very good way to get your video viewed is to find a video that's very popular and kind of start with that title and then work what you have into it at the end. In other words, try to get into the suggested videos of that video.
Yeah.
It seems to be working well.
Okay. Yeah, one of the ways to get into the suggested is, like you said, have something that's very similar. Another thing, keep an eye out for this. There's some marketers on YouTube that are doing this, and a lot of people don't understand what it is. And it's a really cool trick to ride on their coattails. They're creating keywords that are unique and specific, and they don't really mean anything in the real world. Sometimes it will be some obscure code or something, and they use those in their tags, and sometimes they'll even put it into their into their titles and things. So the reason that they're doing that is so they can get their other videos to come up and play in line when the next video is recommended after yours ends. So knowing that, if you find something that's in your niche that's getting a lot of attention, you could add that same unique code, whatever it is, into your tags. And then that way your video could pop up and be the next recommended video after theirs plays. That's kind of a cool little trick to doing that. Let's see. All right. Anybody else got questions? You can go ahead and either pop them in the chat, or you can unmute and come out and tell us what's on your mind there. Yeah, Dan, go ahead. You're muted out there. Let me unmute you. All right, go ahead. You're unmuted now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming through now.
Oh, okay. So my question is, I'm asking a lot of my clients to review me on Facebook and Google Maps. How much do those websites help with SEO, or are there any other benefits other than just having the review itself?
Yeah, actually, reviews is definitely an indicator that your site is popular. So I would say anytime you can get reviews, there's a lot of different review sites that actually help with that. And one of the things it does is it helps with reputation management. And reputation management is a way for people to see who you are and how people like you as a form of trust. And it can also increase your click-through ratios. So anything that you can do to increase your click-through ratios and increase your trust and get people to visit your site, get them to convert, anything like that is literally gold for SEO. It's also gold for your bottom line as well. You know, if you are doing things that are helping you convert, like you see a lot of the marketers, they will use reviews and testimonials and things like that basically as social proof, because if somebody is considering using you or using your service or your product, nobody wants to think they're the only one. You know, that's a big drawback for people of wondering, hey, you know, has anybody else worked with this guy, or has anybody else bought this product? Does the product really work? They've got those thoughts. Those thoughts are going on in their mind. So, you know, a lot of the really good copywriters, they say if you can enter that conversation that's already going on, you can manipulate it. So this is a silent way to do that. Because like I said, everybody has that going on in their mind. They're thinking that. Whether they say it or not, they're all thinking it. So that's why the marketers will do that. They'll put a lot of testimonials. And basically, it's a form of proof that you're real. It's a form of proof that you're good. It's a form of proof that what you're offering actually works. So it kind of quiets that voice in their head that's rearing up and asking those questions. So yeah, I would say testimonials for sure. Anytime you can do that. And back to the whole thing of reputation management, the more good testimonials you can get will buffer the bad ones that you're going to get. I mean, I don't care how good you are and how awesome everybody thinks you are. There's always going to be one guy out there that is an absolute ass, and there's nothing that you can do that will satisfy him. And I guarantee you, if you haven't found that guy yet, he's out there and he's looking for you. And, you know, and that's one of the things that having a lot of good ones will buffer those, you know, because that's another thing that goes on. And I've actually seen some of the marketers address that. You know, they'll have one guy that's out there just barking and scratching to, you know, try and do as much damage as he can. And they'll actually address that. And they'll say, you know, you can't please everybody. And here's proof. Look at what this guy says. Now, do you really think it's true? Because he's the only one out of 100 that's saying this. And all of a sudden now you can discredit him. But if you've only got two and one of them's good, one of them's bad, it's really hard to do that. You can't, you know, you can't overcome that. It can really do damage to your reputation online. Because when you're online, you're not there face to face. You do not have the ability to defend yourself. So you really have to have your online presence needs to stand in the doorway and defend you. And that's what having a lot of good testimonials will do, a lot of good reviews. So that, if nothing else, that's a reason right there to get as many as you can. And, you know, one thing with customers, they're really apt to do that. They're really apt to give you good reviews, especially if they've had a good experience. And the best time, the absolute best time to ask for the referral or ask for the review is right when you've delivered and right when they've got the benefit. That's when they're the happiest. Don't, like, you know, try and go back 6 months later. I mean, you can still do that. I've done that in many cases, but you'll get the best raving reviews when it's fresh and it's hot and they're really, really happy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. There's a program that's really cool. I have a link to it in our resources section, and it's called So Tell Us. And the whole idea behind So Tell Us is, if you like us, so tell us. So that's how they came up with the name. And it's a it's an online thing. It's really cool. They have an app with a cell phone that you can literally put someone's text number in or their email, and it will send them a link to give you a video review using their own phone. Because most of the smartphones have built-in capability for video now. So they could literally click a button, they score you, they say, you know, if it's a 4-star or a 5-star, they click the stars, and that basically gives you, you know, your star rating. And then they have the ability to one click a button, the camera lights up, and they click another button to start the testimonial and or the review, whatever you want to call it. And basically they record it. You get a video testimonial, and when they're done, you can set the settings to actually post that onto your website. So it's really cool. So really neat stuff the way they do that. You can also, in the settings, you can set it to where only post reviews that are 4 or 5 star. If anything's a 3-star, just send it to my email box so I can address it. Because you don't want to necessarily post bad reviews automatically to your site. You only want to post good reviews. The bad reviews, it gives you an opportunity to reach out and connect with that customer. And if they had a bad experience, it gives you an opportunity to make that right and turn that from a bad experience into a good experience, and then get you a new review. So it's a really cool thing. It's almost like surveying your customers to see how satisfied they were. You know, that's a really good thing to do, because if you've got, you know, half of your customers are not quite satisfied, they're not mad, but they didn't have a stellar experience, that gives you the ability to change that. And when you change that, you really change the dynamics of your business. You change your referral base. You change the amount of future business that you'll do. So it's a great thing to do. And so tell us that app makes it super easy.
Does the client have to have an app or install anything to record, or is it truly one click?
Yeah, no, it's truly one click. You send them a link or a text to their phone. There's a link right in it that opens basically the mobile site, and it gives them the ability to give you a review right there through their phone. And it uses the camera in the phone, so they don't have to really install anything. It's pretty cool.
Now, John?
Yeah, go ahead, Gwen.
I've actually tried working with them. I just did the free one off your link.
Uh-huh.
All it did was pull reviews that we already had on Facebook and Google+.
Okay. Well, that's a different thing. It's the same company, but that's a different service. What that is, I've got a free version of it, and what it does exactly that. It will go out and it will pull reviews from off the web, and it will display them onto your website for you. It's like a widget that you can put onto your website to do that. It doesn't really have anything to do with Sotellus, and to tell you the truth, what it is, the reason they built it was that's their lead magnet. That's how they get you into their marketing funnel. And for me, I give it away, and basically it's attached to an affiliate link. And then when people see how cool it is, a lot of times they'll upgrade and they'll get the Sotellus app. And then at that point, then they can go out and they can actually generate reviews using the Sotellus service. So it's a free lead magnet. It's a really cool one. You know, whether you buy the service or not, the idea of having a free widget that can go out on the web and scour the web for for reviews to post automatically to your site it's a pretty cool deal.
Well, that one caught me.
So that's really, and again, it's a really brilliant example of a marketing funnel. That's the big thing, is what do people want on the front? What can you give them to entice them to get onto your marketing funnel so you can bring them your offers. And that was a really, really good one. You know, I've seen a lot of different marketing campaigns, and that one was absolutely brilliant. So, all right. Anybody else here? Who else has a question, comment, problem, anything? Come on out.
Hey, John.
Hey, Cheryl. I was wondering how long I'd have to wait for you.
Well, I see that what I did last week by putting you to see your post first from the program that will post automatic responses or automatic posts to your page.
Okay, yeah, the Real Specific app.
Yeah, that's working pretty well. I see a lot of activity from you.
Yeah, I'm not doing a thing either. I literally set that up once. It took about I played around with every tab, so I really spent a lot of time, you know, going through making sure I didn't miss anything. But I probably spent maybe 2 hours. Now, if I just really would have just set it up to do what it's doing, I probably could have got out in like 30 minutes. And literally, I have not touched it since. It's just been doing its own thing. I check every once in a while, you know, I'll look at my Facebook page just to make sure it's not posting, you know, ridiculous stuff. And so far, you know, it's been pretty much on topic. It's posting good stuff. And you know, it knows it's good stuff because it's the most popular stuff. It's stuff that's actually getting clicked and consumed. So yeah, it might have other marketers and stuff, but that's okay. You know, as long as it's good content, that's really going to provide value to my feed. The fact that I'm bringing, you know, the best content out there in one, I'm aggregating it in one spot for people. So.
Is there any way to do a call to action on top of that post or no?
You know, I'm not positive about that. I think there actually might be. I didn't get that deep into it, but I do recall seeing something like that. Now, speaking of calls to action, you know, in the beginning of this call, we were talking a lot about Cartra, and I am just jumping full steam on board with that. Like I said earlier, I canceled my ClickFunnels account. I canceled my Wistia account. They do full video hosting for you, and you can set calls to action right in your videos. So if you wanted to do video marketing on Facebook, you could set the video up through Cartra and use that video, because you can add tags and you can base it on, you know, how far people went through. You can really do a lot of analytics. You can see you see if people are getting to the call to action, how many people are clicking on it, all that stuff. It's really, really powerful.
Guess I'm going to have to make the jump over.
Yeah, I was thinking about, you know, I'm going to do an affiliate promo on it, and I'm going to actually build it and weave it into the ACT program, because it really is. This is truly the answer. You know, I was pushing to ClickFunnels before because it was really the closest thing, but when I see in Cartra what Cartra has to offer, ClickFunnels is so far off. It's like, you know, Cartra is what Infusionsoft wanted to be. It just, you know, myself included, amongst I don't know how many different people I've talked to, nobody has been able to buy Infusionsoft and get it to work. You know, you've got to really go through a huge learning curve, and you've got to hire people and all this stuff, and you never really know how to work it. You know, it's not user friendly. It's not where it gives you no freedom whatsoever.
Right.
If you get it set up, it gives you incredible data, and it's a conversion machine. But being able to use it, to me, is like the key. I want to be able to go in and add to it, make tests, tweaks, you know, whatever, and it's just so difficult. And in Cartra has been such a piece of cake. It's the only program I've ever seen that is truly like drag and drop. When you're in doing something, like let's say you're setting up any piece to it, it'll ask you, do you want to tag this? And you can create a tag right there. It's just add a tag, boom. Type in what you want to call the tag. And then next it says, what, with this tag, what do you want to do based on this tag? When we assign this tag, do you want to drop them from another sequence they're in? Do you want to add them to a new sequence? It's just phenomenal. It's really literally point and click.
Sounds like you're saying it's something I could use.
Oh yeah, it's something we can all use, and that's the coolest part of it. And like I said, the only part that I had a little bit of frustration with myself, and I think this is more me. This is a user thing, and it's because I'm so used to other ways of doing things. It hampered my ability to follow instructions. But had I followed the instructions, I don't think I would have had any problem at all with the page builder, where you're actually building web pages with it. And I think that before long, I am going to rebuild my entire Internet Dominator site using Cartra.
Wow.
Because it does mobile. It's mobile right out of the gate, and it tracks everything. And you can apply tags to everything. It really, I mean, I don't usually go this crazy over somebody else's product, but I'm really impressed with this thing.
Well, I know that you having trouble following the instructions is because what most people don't know is how super smart you are. I mean, truly super smart. And so that leads to instructions being difficult sometimes. But,
is that my problem?
Well, it's true though. I mean, when you have a high intelligence, it's sometimes you don't want to deal with what instructions, what. So do you have the affiliate? Do you have the affiliate link yet?
Yeah, actually, I'll paste it I just pasted in the chat box here.
Yeah, see, Ted backed me up there and said he knows how smart you are.
Let's see here.
You're kind of deceiving, John. Like you wouldn't look at you and think, "Well, there's an Einstein right there." But I've talked to enough people that have said that over and over and over again about you. Like, I don't think anybody really realizes how smart John is. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of trouble seeing myself that way, and I used to have that conversation all the time with my brother, and I kept telling him, I'm just like everybody else, and he's like, no, you're not. And I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to get that. I just think we're all just as smart as each other and just as good as each other, and we can all do the same stuff. And I think that comes from something my grandfather used to tell me as a kid. He said, any man can do any job given the right tools. If you've got access to the tools, basically we can all do the same stuff. There's no reason that you can't do anything as long as you have access to the right tools.
Yeah.
And I've believed that ever since I was a little kid. If there's a job I want to do, I just make sure I get the right tool, and boom, it's done. He was right. So, and sometimes that tool really is knowledge, and I think I'm just good at uncovering that quickly. Whatever I need to know, I can get to the answer and decipher it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, like from SEO, people say, and I don't believe this for a second, that a lot of people say that I'm the best SEO guy on the planet, the best guy they've ever seen at SEO. But I'll tell you what has made me that way is this call. I have done this call since 2008, and for the most part, up until the last year, this call has been pure SEO. And I have had up to hundreds of people on this call at any given time giving me feedback for problems they're having with SEO, and every time I could solve every one of them. And I had an army at my fingertips. I had literally an army at my disposal of being able to tell them what to do. They could go out and do it and bring me back the results. And if they didn't get the right result, then I could send them a little bit different direction until I got them to where they needed to be. And every time I did that, it was like machine learning for me.
Right.
So that's basically, you know, how I got to know as much as I know about SEO. It's just, you know, it's just I've seen it all. I've seen it, and I've seen, you know, the outcomes of here's the situation, here's what we did, here's what happened. You know, there's only so many variables. At some point, you will have seen everything, and you'll know how to deal with every situation.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I wanted to see what you were thinking of that program since you've been in it for a little bit.
Yeah, the real specific program, it's doing what I needed it to do, you know, and for I think it was $37 or something one time. That was a great buy.
Right.
John, coming back to SEO.
Yeah, go ahead, Lewis.
Have you seen or people report to you a little bit of volatile keywords, positioning the keywords in the SEO field over the last month or 2 months? I mean, ranking ups and downs and coming back and again going down, or you don't have see any volatility, let's say?
I really haven't seen any radical changes in SEO in quite some time. I think what you're seeing is that, you know, if you see stuff that's continuously going down, then whatever it is that's going on, whatever it is that you're doing, you're causing that. You know, Google's Rankbrain is probably the thing. I did look at one site the other day. There was no reason for it to be tanking other than the fact that it was just an AdSense site. And I think in that case, it had good conversion metrics, it had good user metrics, all the stuff that Rankbrain traditionally would value and boost it up, it was going the opposite direction. And it not only went the opposite direction, it literally tanked for almost everything. And I truly believe in that case, I've seen this in the past over and over and over. Inside Google, they have manual reviewers for the AdSense team. And when you have an AdSense account, you can count on the fact that they're going to manually review it at some point. It might not happen real soon. It might not happen, you know, even in the first year. But at some point, that site is going to get manually reviewed. They all do. And when I looked at the site from a manual review standpoint, it would not have passed the manual review. It was hiding information. It didn't show that there was an actual user of the site. It was truly an AdSense site. But from an SEO perspective, it was done really well. They did good link building. They, you know, everything was in line. They had good user metrics. So there truly was no reason for it to tank from an SEO perspective. And I truly believe that that was a trigger done by the AdSense guys. They did not want traffic going to the site. So
okay.
Recently, that's really all I've seen recently as far as that happening.
Okay, can I share with you my screen in order to show
Sure.
an example?
Sure,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, basically this is what I'm talking about. It means the organic traffic compared with the previous year. You see on January, not a lot of change. On February and March, 25, 30% decrease. After that, some ups and downs. Later in April, it seems like it is stable. And nowadays, again, like 20, 30% decrease. It's like a roller coaster, you know?
Yeah, you know where I've seen this before? I have seen this before, and I've seen this in particular industries where the users are online during working hours and they're not online on the weekends. And I don't know if those bumps, those downfalls, represent weekends, but it looks like they might because they're so uniform.
Yeah, the weekends is the down section,
Yeah,
and Monday to Friday is the peaks.
yeah, and I'll tell you specifically, the industry that I did see this in was in sport fishing. It was like during the week when people are working, what they were doing is they're researching, they were going to different sites looking for fish reports and tracking the, all the fishing data. And then on the weekend, they were out fishing. so our traffic literally went flat on the weekends.
So let me share another one from a different client. So this is even more radical. This is like, I don't know. I've never seen this in the SEO.
Yeah, and I don't know. You might check and see if those actually did line up on the weekends, and if that's the case, I bet you that's what's going on. Those people are using work time to go online and browse sites.
Okay, I'm gonna share a different one. You see, it seems like an stable growth, and then a big growth, and now a decrease. Now again, ups and downs. And this is a client about recipes. It's a big brand that produce content related to recipes. So
Okay. Well, match that up to holidays like Easter, when people are cooking. Like you've got one coming up, Cinco de Mayo.
yeah, here in Spain, this was the Easter section in here. So in previous year, it was in March, and this year is in April. That's why this big upside.
Okay. Because, yeah, I would say with recipes, that's when people are more active. What you can do in SEMrush, you can look at trends for particular keywords, and you can see like there's certain times of the year when the trends will literally spike. And if you're ranking for those particular keywords, your traffic can spike with it. With SEO, it's very standard to see traffic go up and down. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've very rarely seen a smooth traffic curve. It's just like users are unpredictable. The only time I've seen is like smooth. If you've got smooth traffic curves, you're probably ranking for thousands of keywords. So if there's certain things that make it go up and down, they're not seen quite as much. But if you're doing something very specific like recipes or fishing or things that are related to a hobby, the ups and downs can be fairly radical, depending on what's going on. You can see that with BuzzSumo. You can see it in the trend category in Google. If you go to Google Trends, or if you use SEMrush, they've got a trends column. So that can probably explain some of that. But the less keywords you rank for, the more radical those ups and downs will be. If you've got a site that it's got a lot of different topics and it covers a lot of different keywords, like I'm sure if you look at YouTube, YouTube's probably got a fairly smooth curve because it's got so much traffic from so many different places for so many different things that it's just smoothed out because of that. But when you have only a handful and you're very topic specific, your chances of having radical moves are a lot greater.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. But I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. I don't think it's anything to worry about. It's when it goes down and it stays down and it flatlines. That's when you got a problem. That tells you, you might have dropped out of the ranking for certain keywords or things of that nature. So, all right. Anybody else want to hop in before we wrap up here? All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. Like I said, let me put the Cartra link in here one more time. If any of you guys, seriously, this is like the best shopping cart program, and it's not a shopping cart program. This is a marketing program. It does everything for you. I would highly recommend it. And one of the things I'm going to be doing for all the people that do wind up purchasing this through my affiliate link is I'm going to probably wind up doing a 1 hour call every week helping you set it up. So it'll be a call just like this, but it will be strictly dedicated to Cartra and helping people, because I've gone through every tab now. So if you've got a question, I'll probably be able to answer it and fast track you really quickly by doing that. And I'm happy to do that too, because you know, the faster you guys get successful, the better it makes me look. And I think there's no tool I've seen yet that is as apt to do that as Cartra is. So anyway, go ahead, guys. Whoever wants it, go ahead and hop in on it and get it set up. And like I said, I'll start those calls up pretty quick. All right, and Gwen asked about Real Specific too. That program, if anybody wants that, I don't have an affiliate link to it. Just go to realspecific.com, and last time I was there, it was $37 one time. I don't think it's going to be like that forever. That was kind of their launch bonus, but it's a one-time fee, $37. It's a great tool if you want to post popular content onto your Facebook feeds. So anyway, there's that one, realspecific.com and and Cartra. Those are my my solid picks for the week. So all right, guys, have a great week, and we will talk to you next week.